Was good.
Fucking up that bed, shawty on my dick. Look, I ain't even bad. I do my dance, something like my cat. This 40 on my head, these niggas think we attached. Beat shit, I get in my bag, bitch. You say you pop shit, then little nigga, what's happening? I'll call my peoples up, you know we get it cracking. It's gonna be hot, you know I keep it packing.
Man, they just cooked your boy Young Thug, man. We're gonna play this song, man, before we get into this video. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, bro. Hit that like button.
40 on my teeth, I spend it, I repeat. Diamonds on my G, you see it when I beat. Take a look at my ooh, take a look at my ooh. These diamonds ain't ooh, these diamonds ain't ooh. Take a look at my ooh, take a look at my ooh.
Do y'all think Young Thug deserved 45 years? Do y'all think he deserved what he got, man? Y'all let me know in the comment section down low. Yeah. Uh-huh. Get some light up there, boy.
I'm fucking hoe. I'm fucking that bitch. 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 I'm fucking hoes. 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 I'm fucking that bitch. I fuck that bitch, I hit that bitch. I pull her dress out. She ate my dick, I ate that bitch. I spread them legs out. Fucking on these hoes like I'm Pippin. I'm the man now. These diamonds streeted, Aquafina, I can drip now. Yeah, VVS diamonds, I got that for a beam. Money real long, I spent that on my team. My pocket so fat, pocket full of green. Shorty give me neck, I make that pussy scream. I'm fucking these hoes, I'm fucking that bitch.
Haha. Man, they done got your boy Young Thug, man. He took a plea. You know what I'm saying? If they didn't have any evidence, why take a plea? We're about to get into this video, man.
Watch this how I drip. Watch I drip. Watch this how I drip. Watch I drip. Fucking on your bitch. Watch I drip.
Diamonds on my wrist.
Watch I drip. Watch this how I drip. She wanna fuck me cause she know I'm lit. These dumbass bitches always on my dick. Yeah, I rock diamonds. Lindsay is the shit. I spend that cash, get it back and did. She wanna fuck with me, she know I'm rich. Diamonds on my neck, shining like a bitch. Shorty give me neck, then she wanna spit. I fuck that bitch, gagging on the dick. Fucking on that bitch, fucking on that hoe. Sliding on that bitch like.
All right, we're gonna get into this video after this song right here. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck that bitch, fuck that little hoe. I'm fuck that bitch right from the door. Watch this how I drip, watch this how I drip. Watch this how I drip, watch this how I drip. Watch this how I drip, watch this how I drip. Watch this how I drip, watch this how I drip. Watch I drip, watch this how I drip. Watch I drip, fucking on your bitch.
All right. Welcome back to my channel. Yeah, man, as you read that title, your boy Young Thug finally decided to, after all, take a plea. Now, my thing is, if they didn't have any evidence, if the judge was getting mad because the the prosecutors and all was trying to build a case up, they wasn't ready while in court. Why all of a sudden Young Thug decided to take a plea? Now he was gonna go to trial. He didn't want to take a plea. Now all of a sudden he wants to take a plea. A lot of you people said Young Thug is coming home. A lot of you people said that they don't have any evidence on Thugger. You know what I'm saying? So my question to y'all is, if they didn't have any evidence on Young Thug, why did Thug take a plea? You know what I'm saying? Now this is why I think Lil Durk is in trouble, because the whole Young Thug case is a state charge. You know what I'm saying? They don't always have a good conviction rate. A state charge, they always want to settle it out with a plea. You know what I'm saying? Because 9 times out of 10, you might beat that charge. Now, when it comes to a Fed charge, the only time a Fed, the only time the Feds is going to come after anybody is if they have some type of evidence on you. Now, they did say they've been looking at Lil Durk for a couple years. Couple years now. The Feds. Where the state, they don't do none of that stuff. They don't try to follow you. They don't do none of that stuff to try to get a case on you. They going on assumption, they believe in hoping that they can find anything to arrest you, anything, so they can, you know what I'm saying, build a case on that. Now with the Feds, they come get you when they have some type of evidence. This is why I try to tell people, you telling me, oh, Young Thug is gonna come home because they don't got no evidence. Young Thug this, Young Thug that. They don't got no evidence. But yet he took a plea. So evidently they had evidence. They're not gonna tell everybody what they have. Because if they didn't have evidence, Young Thug wouldn't have took a plea. Now I'm trying to tell y'all the same thing with Lil Durk. Y'all try to tell me, oh, they don't got no evidence. If they can't do this, bro, you don't work in the law firm. You're not a lawyer. You're talking outside of your mouth. Don't know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Just because you think that they don't have any evidence on you doesn't mean that they don't. Just because they tell you what they wanted you to know doesn't mean they don't have evidence. Just because you think what you hear from them, you're going on, oh, they don't have evidence because I didn't see that. They're not going to tell it all, bro. Because, again, if they didn't have evidence, why Young Thug take a plea? 45 years? How old is Young Thug? I'm about to see, how old is Young Thug? Hold up. Give me 1 second. How old is Young Thug? Because 45 years is crazy, bro. 45 years and doing 25 and the rest on probation. Young Thug is he 34? Young Thug is 33 years old. Now, they gave him 45 years, right? Jeez. That's about like 78. They gave you 45 years. They said do 25. He come home. The rest on probation. Young Thug won't be home until he's 58 years old. If that, if he don't catch any more charges in prison. So you don't know when Young Thug is gonna come home. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? Jeffrey Lamar Williams, aka Young Thug, has reached a plea, 45 years. Again, now he might get a hit. You never know. He might get a hit. They might look at his record, his jacket once he in there. You do 25 years, you might just get a hit. Might add a couple more years you got to do. You might catch a charge. So you never know when Young Thug is gonna come home. Now, Lil Durk, on the other hand, after how I seen this case play out, Lil Durk is in trouble, and I feel Lil Durk is going to do the same thing. Lil Durk is going to take a plea. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's going to go to trial or none of that because he's going to get smoked. I think Lil Durk is going to take a plea, and he's going to get something in that field as Young Thug. He might even get life without the possibility of parole or anything. He might even get 25 to 30 years. He's going to get somewhere in that ballpark, 25 and up. I hate to say, but it's going to happen. I'm sorry. Lil Durk, he got history too. You know what I'm saying? Again, these guys are in their 30s, millionaires at that, can't leave the street alone. You know what I'm saying? After making it, after reaching a certain status, after uh, making money, bringing money in, after getting your family and your moms out of that hood, it's time to grow up and leave that hood stuff alone. Now we're gonna get into this video. We're gonna watch this. We're gonna watch this video real quick of Young Thug in court. Um, let's get into this video real quick.
Whatsoever, and I can read the rest of that into the record if the court requires, or I can continue with the factual basis.
All right, and let me ask you, because I know that at least while y'all were negotiating, one of the things that I guess was being negotiated was some exception for, I think, somebody that is contractually obligated on his record label. Is that something that the state would still be in agreement to?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
Now I ain't gonna lie. They blaming Jeffrey, aka Young Thug, of that unalive of whatchamacallit, academics has posted it. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'm gonna bring that up for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Cause I got receipts. You can go a long way with receipts. You feel me? Now, this is what academics posted. Donovan Nutt Thomas family is in court. The prosecutor took the case preliminary to hold these accountable for his murder. That's why they aren't suggesting anything below 20. See? They're not suggesting anything below 20 for Young Thug. It's because, you know what I'm saying, prosecutors want Young Thug to do 25. They blame Young Thug for the Donovan Thomas unalive. They want him to do 25 years. With that, Young Thug will be out at 58 years old. Again, you never know. You can die in prison all them years. You know what I'm saying? You never know. You can catch another charge and get more years added on. So, you, like I said, you never know when Young Thug is coming home. See? Just because of them blaming him for the Donovan Thomas unalive, they don't want nothing below 20. and the prosecutor's already saying 25. So you know, once the prosecutor is saying one thing, the judge and the prosecutor, they work together. So the judge is going to sign off on that. 25 years. So you rather be out here, you rather be out there still in the streets trying to gang bang this, that, and the third when you got money, you made it out the hood. You still rather do that? You rather do that with your guys, with your people, instead of continue feeding your family. You know what I'm saying? You rather do that? I'm not doing 25 years. I can't do 25, especially okay. 33 is young, but 33 is old going to prison. You know what I'm saying? 33 years old is old going to prison. 33 is young, but is old going to prison. So I'd rather, if I'm a millionaire, I'd rather continue making money, continue uh, providing that wealth for my family. You know what I'm saying? Let's get back into this video.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Your Honor, as part of the requirements of 1615, 4,
Yes.
defendant would, one moment, Your Honor. Under 1615.4, in addition to any other penalty provided by the code section, all sentences imposed under the code section shall require as a special condition of the sentence that the person sentenced shall not knowingly
Slow down
have.
just a tad, because there's a court reporter taking it down. And when we start reading, we read really fast. So, go ahead.
This code section,
If y'all don't know, Young Thug is right there. There go Young Thug. Just look at him, man. Like, throwing football numbers. 45 years to do 25. And the rest on probation. At your age, you think you have a 25 years to do in prison in you? You think you ready for that? Coming a millionaire and going as you please and going as you will, eating whatever you want, trips, flights, and all that, to going behind bars and can't do what you want and being told what to do and eating that nasty jail food. You think, are you ready for that? He took that plea 25 years, 45 years, like it was 25 days, or he'd be home in a couple months. That's how he took it. That's crazy. Everybody, y'all should learn from this, man. Learn from this. Learn from this.
shall require as a special condition of the sentence that the person sentenced shall not knowingly have contact of any kind or character with any other member or associate of a criminal street gang, shall not participate in any criminal gang activity, and in cases involving a victim, shall not knowingly have contact of any kind or character with any such victim or any.
If I'm Young Thug, I'm like this. If I'm Young Thug, I'm like, bro, I'm about to do 25 years to life. You telling me not to be in contact with other gang members like I'm about to get out next year. I'm about to do 25 years in prison. You think I give a fuck about that right now? I got time. I'm still trying to process of what's going on, what I'm about to get myself into. You know what I'm saying? Cause Young Thug know if he took the trial, they was gonna give him life. I'm pretty sure his public defender, his lawyer, came to him like, look, they got more evidence. This is what they have. You either take this deal now or we go to trial. Well, he was in trial, but you know what I'm saying? You take this deal now or we this is what you're gonna get. This is what's gonna happen. You're gonna lose this, that, and the third. So if I was you, I'd take this deal. That's why he took that deal. But still, you telling me I can't be around gang members, I can't be around the victim, I can't be around this, that, and the third. Man, sorry, no disrespect, but I'm going to prison. And prison is a lot of gang members in there. So what do you expect me to do? Stay in my room? You know what I'm saying? I ain't going home. I may never come home. And you telling me I can't go around these people? Like that's the last thing on my mind. Y'all get what I'm saying?
Any member of any such victim's family or household. So that is, and we've listed in our indictment the victims of the crimes, the overt acts that have been committed, and under the basic conspiracy law, those are the victims.
I ain't gonna lie, Young Thug looked different. I thought Young Thug was skinny.
That we are naming. Your Honor, as this case has been tried and would continue to be tried until the state completed its case in chief, the evidence has shown that the defendant, throughout the time between 2013 to 2022, conspired with both indicted and unindicted co-conspirators to participate in the enterprise known as Young Slime Life, or YSL, through a pattern of racketeering activity.
From 2013 to 2022. How do she know that? How long has they been following Young Thug? Like, what?
Throughout that time, multiple conspirators, both indicted and unindicted, and including the defendant, have committed overt acts intended to further the enterprise itself. With regard to the defendant, as far back, the evidence has shown, as 2013,
Oh man, so basically you're telling me they got evidence as far back as 2013, but yet y'all little people on here keep coming into these people's lives and my live talking about they ain't got no evidence. I'm sorry. When was you in this case? Where did I miss your name at?
defendant, along with other YSL founding members, Walter Murphy, for one, committed an aggravated assault and armed robbery against Derek Dotson. The court has heard evidence of that presented
On robbery, bro. You're a millionaire. What you sitting there robbing people for?
through Adrian Bean, who was a co-conspirator in that particular act. The armed robbery of an Archillian Bennett back in 2013.
R. Kelly. No, I ain't say R. Kelly.
As alleged in the indictment, defendant and unindicted and indicted co-conspirators committed acts to further YSL that included drug sales.
Sorry, gang, I stopped it, but what do y'all think Young Thug is thinking about right now? He got his eyes closed, head up, and do a little. Do you think he teared up this whole thing? Like, what do you think is going through his head?
Aggravated assault and murder.
Murder.
They used and furthered, rather, this conspiracy by using social media posts and music to assert the violent nature of and the dominance of Young Slime Life, which is also known as YSL.
This ain't gonna stop. This is not gonna stop because at the same time, at the end of the day, drill music's gonna be drill music. People still gonna be dissing. People still gonna be rapping about what they did. It's not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop here. You know what I'm saying? Um, just bro, this is crazy. Like this should be a lesson and learn from y'all people. And you're a rapper, you trying to get on, you coming up, or you're a rapper and you're close to getting on, bro. Keep your head straight, keep your head clean. You know what I'm saying, and keep going. You know what I'm saying? Cause this, and once you get there, do not stay out the streets. Do not get involved with nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, learn from this situation. And this is why I think the Lil Durk case, Lil Durk is screwed too as well. Lil Durk, I'm sorry, Lil Durk gonna do time. Lil Durk, he might get life. And like I said, it's gonna be 25 years and up for Lil Durk. That's just how it is. These people y'all like and idolize, y'all never know what they done did in their life. They rap about this, that, and third, but y'all talking about they ain't like that. But when stuff came out, now y'all want to say, oh, they was living what they rap about. Young Thug, who knew Young Thug was like this? I never even knew Young Thug was like this. But y'all say, oh, Young Thug, he's sweet, this, that, and the third. He likes this, that, and the third. Young Thug, he rapping, he ain't like that. Young Thug, this, that, and third. Now look at it. Now you see what's going on. Young Thug locked up because of what? Unaliving people, robbing people, this, that, and the third. So again, you don't know who's like what. Your favorite rapper, you don't know what they done did. Keep an eye open, pay attention. They rapping about stuff. Of course, 9 times out of 10 they might have done it. Like Lil Durk. What's good? What's good? Kosher kid. What's good, bro? Like Lil Durk, he rapped about this, that, and the third. Oh, been sliding through, they blocked down, no, just got out there, fed, something, something. You know what I'm saying? Lil Durk, you know how he rap. Just because you think Lil Durk ain't like that because he light skinned, this, that, and the third, just because he a rapper, because he your favorite rapper. Now look at him. Now you talking about, oh, he must have slid for Vaughn now. He had to slide for Vaughn. He had to. He like, come find out Lil Durk was like that. Just like Young Thug. You didn't know he was like that. He wearing purses and pocketbooks. My grandma don't wear them no more. You know what I'm saying? He wearing purses and pocketbooks and stuff like that. And now it turns out he was like that. He was out in the street doing what he do. Yeah, Young Thug. No, Young Thug got 45 years. Prosecutors say he only do 25 and the rest on probation. Now, at the age of Young Thug, that 25 years, you get in trouble, you catch more charges in prison, state prison, you catch more charges, them years can add on. Now, when you go up in front of the parole board or whatever, whatnot, you might get a hit. You never know. He can catch charges and he get more years added on. You never know. But he got 25 years, he got 45 years, but the prosecutor said they want him to do 25 and get out and do the rest on parole. I mean probation. So that's 45. He ain't getting out now. What are you talking about? How he getting out now when the prosecutor and everybody even said they don't want him to do nothing under 20? How's he getting out now? Where are you getting them information? I mean, I understand you're a little Durk fan, but he was out there committing murders. I mean, Young Thug fan, but he was out there committing murders. He's not getting out, bro. He's not. I'm sorry. Thug is not getting out, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I mean, you can cry now, cry later, but Thug is not getting out. I even showed you. The prosecutor even said he's to do nothing less than 20 years. Hold up. So yeah, let me turn the light on. Hold up. Alrighty. I'm back. Alright, so let me go back to since he think I play. Here we go. Alright, what did I say right there? You said Thug is getting out. What did I say right there? Nothing below 20 years. How he's getting out now? They want him to do 25. He's not. He's not getting out now. Again, people don't know what they talking about. You know what I'm saying? They just be up on here suspended what? Suspended what? So if they blaming him for Donovan Thomas murder, just suspend that and he could come home. Bro, you're not the brightest. You're not the brightest light in the light packet, are you? Suspend him. Suspend the sentence and come home. If that's what you're saying. Oh, do the little 1-2 years that you did. You good for that murder? Do 2 years. So that's what you telling me. He's coming home for that. He's coming home off of that. Again, people like him. They just talk like they know it all. They talk like they know it. They got the evidence, and they don't. It's a Rico, my dog. That's a Rico, and he's top dog. How the and he like I said, people like him. You can show him evidence right in their face, and he'll tell you, "Oh, he's coming home. He could beat that. They ain't got no evidence." But yet, you just showed him evidence. That's the type of person he is.
The defendant is charged with being a leader of the gang YSL.
Oh yeah, and one more other thing, Big Patch. When a prosecutor say something, they want the person to do. If a prosecutor told him, "Oh, I want Young Thug to do 10 years," I guarantee you 9 times out of 10 the judge is signing off on that. I want Bushman Carter to do five years with 5 years of probation off a 10-year sentence. 9 times out of 10 the judge is doing that. The prosecutor said he wants Thug to do 25 years, the rest on probation. You think the judge is gonna say no? He coming home now. I'm gonna suspend that. He's coming home now, even if we blame him for that murder. Like I said, people like Patch ain't the brightest light in the light pack. You know what I'm saying?
And evidence has been presented by accomplices and co-founders of YSL, Trontavia Stevens and Walter Murphy, and evidence would have been presented, in the words of the defendant himself, that the defendant, as shown by some of his own social media postings, was the founder, one of the founders of YSL, along with Mr. Stevens and Mr. Murphy.
Dang, I thought that was just Young Thug's thing. I thought he was the founder. I thought he was the one that made that up and brought people on.
YSL formed, according to the evidence that has come out in this.
Gassed up, said he ain't get time yet. Oh, he got time because he already did 2 years. So he got time. I'm sorry to tell you, he already got time. And he gonna do more.
Trial in 2012, 2013, under the former version of the name of the gang called Rock Crew or Raised on Cleveland.
Big Patch think that Young Thug is gonna come home because of what? Bro, this is a RICO. This ain't no little petty theft.
The court has heard evidence of the 2014 and 2015 incidents that have involved conflicts between YSL members.
Nah, he ain't get gassed up. He ain't get sentenced yet. Young Thug took the plea. So therefore, Young Thug taking that plea, agreeing with the plea, you already know he's getting sentenced. He already took the plea.
And if gang members, that included someone shooting the window of Mr. Williams' car and armed individuals rushing outside during shootings at Club Crucial to ensure Mr. Williams' safety
State Rico. Why you think they? Why you? Of course, it's a state Rico. Who said anything about it? It's a Fed Rico. Are you slow? The prosecutor even offered nothing less than 20. They want him to do 25 years and rest on probation. Young Thug took the plea. He already agreed to the plea. So what are you crying about? Young Thug is not coming home gassed up. I'm sorry. He's not coming home.
Shootings at a place called the Dugout, where armed individuals rushed to ensure Mr.
Now
Williams'
you do
safety.
your homework.
Shootings at Mr. Kelvin Watts.
And after he finally gets sentenced, come back in here and tell me you was right, King. You was right.
Committed by members of YSL. Communication with members of YSL after those incidents, and ultimately the murder of Donovan Thomas at the hands of members of YSL.
Dang.
The evidence has shown and will show that on January 10th of 2015, members of YSL drove a car rented by the defendant, a gray Infiniti.
How is bro not crying, bro? Bro, you ready? 33 years old, about to do 25 years, getting out by age 60, 58, 60 years old. How are you not sad or crying, emotional?
And drove past Mr. Thomas as he stood outside of a barber shop, congregating with friends, and unloaded an array of bullets on Mr. Thomas, hitting him, his Chevrolet Tahoe, and two other persons in the process. Mr. Thomas died from those bullets.
What's good, Wrestlehead, Ryan the Hill? Happy Halloween. Whatchamacallit, Gassed Up and Big Patch Gang think Young Thug is coming home today.
Phone records show that communication was held between Mr. Williams, Mr. Kelvin Treadwell, Mr. Demise McMullen,
Phone records, but yet y'all telling me that they don't have no evidence on Young Thug? Bro knew he was cooked. He knew he was gonna get life. He knew it. He must have got more evidence from his lawyer. Like, look, this is what we got. More evidence came out. We take it, we're gonna get cooked. You're gonna get life. He knew it. That's why he went and took that plea. He decided to turn around and take that plea. Now, he ain't get sentenced yet, but he took the plea, though. The plea offer. He turned around and took the plea offer. But that's why he took that plea, because he knew, hell yeah, what he did get him cooked. But he knew he was going to get cooked. But yet, they think he's coming home today. Off of all these evidence from a Rico, think he's coming home today, Patch.
corroborating accomplice testimony that has been presented in this courtroom regarding what happened, who committed the murder, and what happened to the guns and the vehicles that were used in the murder. After the murder of Donovan Thomas Jr., the members of YSL responsible for the murder and members of YSL who were not responsible for the murder congregated at Mr. Williams' condominium called the Sky House, and they all made plans and later either drove or flew down to Miami. Prior factual acknowledgments.
Who would have thought your favorite rapper, Young Thug, would be doing this after wearing purses and stuff? Y'all said he wasn't like that. Y'all teased him for wearing purses and stuff like that. And now he out there doing this.
By members of YSL include that Mr. Williams gave each of the persons who accompanied him to Miami money to lay low as they left the city following the murder of Mr.
How did they know that? Someone snitched in the camp. You ain't gotta tell them everything. You don't gotta tell them everything. Again, just like the little Durk case. I've been telling you. You see how y'all said Young Thug ain't had evidence? He's coming home, he's gonna beat it. Look like they brought more evidence to the table. Someone was snitching. Now the little Durk case. I'm sorry, bro's cooked. Just like y'all say he ain't got no evidence, they do got evidence, and they might have even more. Lil Durk was gonna get cooked. People was talking. People was snitching. You know what I'm saying? Trust me.
Thomas. The evidence has shown the ensuing conflict that occurred after Mr. Thomas was killed. It has shown shootings at Mr. Rashawn Bennett's home, shootings at Mr. Darren Mills' mother's home, and I said Mr. Rashawn Bennett's mother's home. Shootings unrelated to the conflict with members of If Gang, of a Lil Wayne tour bus. That shooting.
Wait, what? Lil Wayne tour bus. I remember that.
Followed the confronting by Atlanta Police Department of members of YSL that drove to the compound where Lil Wayne was making an appearance. And
wait a minute. So Lil Wayne and Young Thug was beefing at one point too? That's what she said?
and who drove there with the intent to disrupt and cause harm and to shoot up Lil Wayne's tour bus. Lil Wayne was another artist with whom Mr. Williams was having conflict, according to the...
Wait, so Lil Wayne and Young Thug was beefing at one point? YSL was the one that shot Lil Wayne tour bus up? Because I remember his tour bus getting shot up, but I didn't know who it was from. That was YSL? Dang.
The testimony that had been presented, Mr. Williams had come out at that time with a mixtape that carried the name of an album that Mr.
Closer
Carter
Kid.
was
I didn't know that
set
was
to release and was not able to because his label would not allow that to happen. That caused a contractual or the threat of a lawsuit. It caused Mr. Williams angst. He posted about it. He said derogatory things about the persons who were threatening him with the lawsuit. And as a result, he had to rename his mixtape.
Wait a minute. She said, why you lying in title? Lying about what? That he's not come home? He's not. Hold up. Where is it at? This it. Hold up. Okay. There we go. What's good, Mandy? Look. What did it say right here? Hold up. Okay, what I lied about? The state said it would recommend a sentence of 45 years. So what I lied about? With 25 years served in custody, followed by a 20 years on probation. So this is a 45-year sentence. He just got to do 25 years and the rest on probation. So again, what did I lie about? Don't delete your comment. Where's she at? Oh, okay. Mandy did it. But yeah, what did I lie about? Just because you can't read? Oh, you're going now. You don't want to reply back. So this is a sentence of 45 years, right? And that's what I put in my title. I just didn't put the rest. Because at the end of the day, 25 years served in custody, 20 years on probation, that equals 45 years. She must be slow. But yeah, let's get back to this video. Where was I at? Here we go.
Tape to something different than what he initially intended. The person who ultimately was convicted of shooting that tour bus up, Jimmy Winfrey, is a person that I believe that recordings have come in regarding jail phone calls, rather, from Mr. Winfrey and members of YSL regarding communication about getting a lawyer following the shootings that occurred.
See? All this is evidence right there. Yet again, they didn't put everything out there to the public to know. They only put bits and pieces what they wanted us to know. So next time y'all hear a case like this, like a little Durk situation, y'all see some of the evidence that they brought out to the public for us to read about Lil Durk, right? I guarantee you, once the Durk stuff start to happen, like the trial or whatnot, I guarantee you more evidence will start coming out. So I don't want people to say, "Oh, they ain't got no evidence on Lil Durk." Trust me, this is a Fed case. Trust me, I guarantee you, they didn't make no arrest for no reason. I guarantee you it was a reason. I guarantee you they had more evidence that they did than what they showed us. I guarantee you that. You know what I'm saying? Trust me.
In 2015, music, social media postings, and other overt acts were committed by Mr. Williams and other members of YSL, taunting members of groups that they considered opposition to YSL, posting of threats of violence by members of YSL against those people. Specifically,
I'm still baffled and stuck on how Young Thug got no emotion. I don't understand how he's not even tearing up. Like,
Your Honor, contained lyrics such as the following.
dang.
I rep my life for real, for slimes, you know I kill. I shoot at your man.
Yo, am I the only one that noticed that? Bro act like he's in there for a traffic ticket. Don't he? No emotion.
Me need to stand down. I up my stamina, take it to trial, get an appeal, take it to trial, pay for that casket. That's just if we whack them. YSL slimy and shady. Watch me whack that bitch, pop them like assist. Glock with the assist. It also consisted of a song wherein
Facts.
Mr. Williams sang or rapped the lyrics.
I agree with you on that one, Mandy.
Hey, this is that slime shit, that YSL shit, killing 12 shit, fuck a jail shit. I'm in the VIP. I got the pistol on my hip. Fuck the police. You praying that you live. I'm praying that I hit. This is slime shit.
Now, why the prosecutor is saying all this, I'm just looking at her. It look
100
crazy,
rounds
bro.
in a Tahoe. I'm prepared to take them down. Got banana clips for all these ends acting monkey. This is that slime shit. This is that mob shit. Fuck the judge. YSL. This that mob life.
That's crazy.
Defendant Williams released a video on YouTube of a song wherein he states, "I shot at his mommy. Now he no longer mentions me."
He said, y'all some goofies. Thug free. Brandon Woods. Shut your stupid ass up.
Act like you want war and they gonna smoke you like a blunt. Another song, "I escaped every one of the licks because I was supposed to be rich. I don't care nothing about a cop. I'm just telling you how it is. I done did the robbing. I done did the jacking. Now I'm full rapping."
Right, like, why is she rapping his lyrics? Like, we get it. We get it. We understand that's what he rapped about. Why are you rapping his lyrics?
Gave the lawyer close to $2 million. He handles all the killing. We don't speak about shit on wax. It's all my business. We know to kill the biggest cats of all kittens.
I don't understand, like, guys, hit that like button, also hit that subscribe button. You could tell
In another song, "I was on Cleveland, stuck like a magnet, bitch ass N-word."
see, you could tell she trying her hardest to persuade the judge to her in her favor. Like, we get it, bro. We get it.
Pay for that casket. That's just if we whack 'em. In yet another song, Defendant Williams raps, "Red just like Elmo, but I never fucking giggle. YSL won't fold. Pick his ass off from the balcony. Wipe an end's nose.
Mandy, you hear this, Mandy?
I'm gonna F for the cash, then she getting robbed by Tick." A reference to Trontavia Stevens. "All I ever wanted was the money. Put your hands in the air if you dare. F and N, put him in a wheelchair."
And I'm just looking at Young Thug. I'm thinking Young Thug wants to turn around and start laughing.
And even later on, Mr. Williams, and I believe that this was in 2019, made a post to YFN Lucci or Rayshawn Bennett. If I ain't like what you do for your mother and kids, I would have been killed you."
So she's just sitting up there looking up lyrics and shit.
And in yet another song entitled "Anybody," Defendant Williams stated, "I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that body. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving a body. I told them to shoot 100 rounds like he trying to movie the body. Ready for war like I'm Russia. I get all types of cash. I'm a general."
I don't know what's her point in reading these lyrics.
As Mr. Williams' prominence in the music industry rose, his ascension within or in leadership in the gang YSL became more apparent as he rapped and talked about the crimes that YSL co-conspirators and members committed and how he got away with robberies.
I don't understand. You could buy anything you want. Why go around robbing people?
With respect to the Donovan Thomas murder, the court has heard evidence through phone records that within 6 minutes of the shooting of Donovan Thomas Jr., a phone call was made from Demise McMullen's cell phone to defendant Williams' phone. And then immediately after that call, Mr. Williams calls his sister Dora Greer and then calls.
See? And y'all tell me, they didn't have evidence on Young Thug. Oh, they just in there trying to build a case up. They don't have they got all this. Like, y'all telling me they didn't have evidence on Young Thug? Y'all fans be weird sometimes. Like, I don't know, y'all be trolling, or that's y'all favorite rapper. Y'all just hoping he come home and shit like that. I don't know. Phone call records.
Kelvin Treadwell. There's then a series of calls between Dora Greer and Treadwell, and then Treadwell calls Demise McMullen or Nard. All of those calls happen within 15 minutes of the 911 call. And as I have stated before, the court has heard accomplice prior inconsistent statements about who committed the murder itself and what.
See? They made themselves look stupid. There was inconsistent statements about who committed it. You know what I'm saying? They made themselves look guilty.
Happened afterwards.
When the cops already know 9 times out of 10 who did it. It's just about
the
proving
conflict
it.
between YSL and members of If Gang continued into 2019, wherein Mr. Williams raps the lyrics that I referred to earlier. In May 2019, a YSL member shot multiple times at a vehicle owned by Rayshawn Bennett, a black and red Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon.
I think Rayshawn Bennett
at the time was
is
being driven by a Milton Howard Jr. It was after that incident, later in August 2019, that defendant Williams posted on his page the language, YFN, if I ain't like what you do for your mother and kids, I would have been killed you. The post was then deleted from his account.
I'm sorry, little Young Thug need to be locked up. He sound like a serial killer. I'm sorry.
Through text messages of a co-conspirator, Marquavius Huey, there was communication between Mr. Huey and Mr. Williams, both in January and in September of 2020. On January 19th, 2020, Mr. Williams sent a flyer to
I'm for real, I'm for real, bro.
Marquavius Huey with the performance location of Rayshawn Bennett.
We don't care, TRB foot. Get your ass on. Go cry me a river. Matter of fact, when you leave, come back after he gets sentenced. Cry, baby.
Or YFN Lucci. And when he sent that, he sent it with the message, handle that tonight, SLAT, S-L-A-T-T. Mr. Huey responded, SLAT, S-L-A-T-T. On September 2nd, 2020, Mr. Huey sent a flyer to Mr. Williams with another performance location of YFN Lucci, and Mr. Williams responded, Slatty, that is S-L-A-T-T-Y.
Look at him. And you telling me he don't seem like a person that would kill again, a serial killer? He don't got no emotions. He just look back like, bro, don't care. You know he don't care.
And stay very low. Mr. Huey responded, slat, and for show, F-A-S-H-O. I've been out the way and appreciate you for everything, my brother. Never about money with me. I'm built on loyalty. Mr. Williams responded, slat, handle that. I got you.
See?
Through text messages and on a separate occasion, Mr. Huey said and conveyed to Mr. Williams that he would sit down for any one of them. And I believe that to be a reference of going to jail. When Mr. Bennett was not killed in 2022, Jaden Myrick sought permission from defendant Williams to stab Mr. Bennett while Mr. Bennett resided with Mr. Myrick at the jail.
And y'all telling me he not on that? Like I'm scared of this guy. I'm scared to be in the same facility as this guy.
Myrick reached out to co-indictee Khalif Adams, who reached out to co-indictee Demikion Garlington to get permission from Mr. Williams. Demikion Garlington was also involved in the back and forth shootings back in 2015.
Too many shootings.
On February 9th, 2022.
And you think he's coming home today? His sentence getting suspended? You think that? Nah.
Rashawn Bennett was stabbed by Jaden Myrick at the Fulton County Jail. And after that stabbing, Mr. Myrick reached out multiple times to Mr. Adams for some type of compensation for the stabbing. Mr. Adams reached out to Mr. Garlington about the payment for the completion. On February the 22nd, 2022, YSL co-conspirator and co-indictee Christian Eppinger called
Facts. What he do need to be scared.
YSL co-conspirator Antonio Sumlin to get permission to finish what Mr. Myrick could not complete, that is the killing of Mr. Bennett.
See?
Mr. Eppinger asked for payment for a lawyer. However, these calls were intercepted and Mr. Bennett was relocated. In March 2022, information about the stabbing made the news, and shortly thereafter, a series of violent offenses occurred. On March 11, 2022,
Kosher Kid, this, I'm pretty sure everybody would be scared of this guy.
YSL associates Christian McMiller and Darius Ford were gunned down. Mr. McMiller is a childhood friend of Mr. Williams. Mr. Ford was also a friend of Mr. Williams. On March 12th, the day after, there was a shootout near the Cleveland Avenue area.
Can one of my mods block Brandon Woods?
A shooting by a YSL associate, Stephen Harris, in YFN territory occurred, and a YFN member was shot in the head. March 11th through March 14th, there were a number of social media posts going back and forth between members of YSL and YFN. One of them was a post by Shannon Stillwells. We ain't the only ones who ain't going to be crying, that's going to be crying. After a posting was made by Mr. Watts picturing him, Mr. Shamel Drinks, and Mr. Jasper Walters, on March 14th, 2022,
said the fans that live for these celebrities are goofies. Yeah, facts. They be going hard for these celebrities. Like, they know these people personally. Bro, these celebrities don't give a about you. They see you in public, you ask for a picture, 9 times out of 10, they're going to say no.
After YSL members spotted Mr. Drinks at a gas station, Mr. Drinks was gunned down as he drove away from the gas station and waited at a red light. Later, Mr. Stillwell, Mr. Nichols, Mr. Garlington, and Mr. Farley were all charged with the murder. That is one of the acts that we are still would anticipate the court seeing the evidence of during the course of this trial. After grand jury warrants were issued after this indictment for Mr. Williams and 27 other co-conspirators, following searches of phones, wiretaps, and other information that...
There they go with that wiretap. There they go. They listen to conversations and everything. I'm telling you.
Led police to understand the role that Mr. Williams played in the YSL street gang and enterprise. Mr. Williams' home, he was arrested at his home and a search warrant was executed inside his home. While at his home, a sale amounts of illegal narcotics, including those that he is charged with in this indictment, was found. Also found.
He said
was
Thug Is.
the machine gun with which the defendant has been charged in this indictment.
Hit that like button, guys. Also hit that subscribe button.
The gun had a switch. The narcotics included marijuana, codeine, and cocaine. And inside the home were also other guns besides the guns with the switch. The items were seized, and again, Mr. Williams was subsequently arrested. Along
Dang, what was he doing? What they about to go to war with somebody? They was out there really like that?
with other YSL members at Mr. Williams' home. Your Honor, that is the evidence that I believe has been shown throughout the course of this trial and that the state would continue to show. There are several messages between Mr. Huey and Mr. Williams inside the cell phone one of the cell phones that were recovered from Mr. Huey. Besides the messages about tells Mr. Williams he has a new number. Mr. Huey asks Mr. Williams, hey, my brother, I'm fucked up. You ain't got nobody I can pull up on and have something in my pocket. Mr. Williams responds, slat. Let me call BEO. Mr. Huey responding, slat, I need you, my brother. Mr. Huey saying, asking whether or not a lawyer was going to go and talk to another YSL associate.
Oh, just by you saying that, bro, you know you was guilty. You know that they pinpointing you to that crime because of those messages and stuff what they just read to you. Just by you asking about a lawyer. And yet again, people say that they ain't have evidence. Okay.
Asking Mr. Williams to send him some money to pay his lawyer off. Mr. Williams asking Mr. Huey, who had been accused of
hit that like button.
Armed robbery, what did he want? Mr. Huey responded with a number. Mr. Williams responded, slat. After Mr. Williams stole a star ring from one of the victims in the indictment, he asked Mr. Williams, do you have a star ring? Mr. Williams said, yes. Mr. Huey said, slat, you can't cash out me $500 so I can make a payment to my lawyer. Mr. Williams responded, slat. Mr. Huey sent him his phone
That's a lot of slat in it, bro. We get it, bro. That's a lot of slat.
number. Mr. Williams assured him.
Facts. He said 45 years,
through
I'm
his
telling.
responses, slat, that he would take care of them. Throughout Mr. Huey's phone, you see messages of this nature between Mr. Huey and Mr. Williams. The court, again, will hear that as this trial continues. The recommendation that the state previously made prior to us reaching...
I kind of feel like this case and Lil Durk case is kind of similar in a way. And that's why I feel like Lil Durk is cooked to it as well.
This point was made with the hope that Mr. Williams would agree to certain special conditions of probation that we asked him to adhere to. And
said, where are you getting 45 years from? You must don't Lukes, whatever your name is, don't care about your name. You must don't understand. You must don't read and do your homework. Do your homework, my boy. That's all. That's all you got to do. Do your homework. But you don't do your homework because you're here. You don't know. That's why you're here. And I'm here to help you. You know what I'm saying?
and that he would take ownership and responsibility for being the leader of YSL.
Is that a credible source,
Given
though?
that those
Do your homework, but you're here, so you'll find out. They're going to say everything right here in this video. They about to tell you. They about to say it.
negotiations have broken down, we are asking that
He
the
said he
court
finna be
sentence
out.
Mr. Williams as we have asked earlier. And prior to the court imposing a sentence, we would ask that Ms. Shawana Edmonds, who is the mother of Mr. Thomas, be allowed an opportunity to make an impact statement. And that is all that we have, unless the court has questions.
Okay, well, given that Mr. Williams is not charged with the murder of Mr. Thomas, I don't think that that is applicable here.
I checked on that, Your Honor, with respect to count one. As a co-conspirator, Mr. Williams is responsible for all of the acts of the other co-conspirators, the overt acts. The overt act of the murder of Donovan Thomas is one of those acts.
I know, and this trial is not complete, and so y'all have not yet proven that. Not to mention that you dismissed the murder charge against one of the co-defendants who already pled, so.
Not for that case, Your Honor. That was Mr. Drinks.
Okay.
We have not dismissed any.
All right, well, if there is a conviction on the RICO or murder count following the close of this trial, that would be the appropriate time for the victim impact statement to be made. All right, Mr.
Facts.
Steele or Mr. Adams, does the defense want to put anything on the record? Obviously, you need to make a recommendation.
Yes, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
Many of the statements
Facts,
made
Mandy,
by the
facts.
prosecutor, we
I'm with you with that one.
vehemently disagree with. The prosecutor misstated many pieces of evidence, and then
I'm with you on that one for real. But you know, here we go.
We'll do that in just a minute. You can go ahead with the colloquy.
And Your Honor, we don't have the waiver form as well. I believe that the court had one.
I've got blanks. Y'all filled one out, right?
we have
Okay.
Mr. Williams, are you the same Jeffrey Williams indicted in case number 22SC183572?
Yes.
Okay.
He shook his head.
And
Yes.
are you also known as Young Thug?
Yes.
Are you at this time taking or under the influence of any alcohol, drugs, or medication?
No.
Is there any medication that you normally take that you have not been given
Facts.
today?
The judge definitely is better.
How old are you?
33.
And how far have you gone in school?
9.
Say that
He said ninth.
one more time. Okay. Are
Where's the parents at? He only completed ninth grade. What?
you able to read, write, and understand the English language?
Yes.
All right. Do you understand that you are charged with the following offenses? Conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, participation in criminal street gang activity, the leadership charge, participation in criminal street gang activity, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, 3 counts, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, and possession of a machine gun. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. And do you understand that you have the right to plead either guilty or not guilty to these charges, and that if you plead not guilty or remain silent, you will continue to receive a jury trial?
Yes.
And have you received this waiver of rights form that I hold
Guys, don't do nothing bad, guys. You don't want to be that person up here. Trust me.
in my hand from your attorney and reviewed it with your attorney?
Yes.
All right. And is this your signature on the bottom of this form?
So it sounds like he took a plea, guys. Huh? How?
Have you had enough time to speak with your attorneys, Mr. Steele and Mr. Adams, about all of the facts and circumstances known to you regarding the charges in indictment 22 SC 183572, including any
Hit that like
potential
button. Hit that like
defenses?
button.
Yes.
Do you need additional time to discuss this case with your attorneys?
No.
Are you satisfied with their services?
Yes.
Mr. Steele and Mr. Adams, do you on behalf of Mr. Williams waive a formal reading of this indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
And do you, Mr. Williams, waive any and all defects in this indictment, including any with respect to your name?
Yes.
Have you been arrested on these charges?
Yes.
The state is unaware of any outstanding warrants related to these charges. Do you or your attorneys know of any outstanding warrants related to these charges?
Anyway.
Outstanding.
I have to admit, still worked for that money. Facts. I believe a lot of these lawyers be knowing when they hear their own clients' cases, they know that they're guilty. They just take it because of the money.
Warrants related to any of the charges in the indictment?
No. No. I don't believe so either.
Okay. And I'm unaware of any as well, Your Honor.
I am as well.
Thank you. Have your attorneys advised you of the minimum and maximum sentence for each of the crimes that you are charged with?
Yes.
And each of the charges that you are pleading guilty to?
Yes.
Your Honor, with respect to the charges that Mr. Williams faces, count 1 carries a minimum charge of 5 years and a maximum charge of 20 years in prison, or up to a $25,000 fine, or both.
He said, so is he going to serve half of that in prison?
Isn't it a $15,000 fine, because wasn't it the version of the statute in effect at the time, or was that the same for RICO? Was RICO 25?
Yes,
Back-
RICO was
okay.
25.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Count 56 carries a minimum sentence of 5 years in prison, a maximum of 20 years in prison, consecutive to any other sentence, with a fine of $10,000 to
Wait, so he turned the 15-year probation down just to do 25 years in prison? That's crazy.
$15,000, or both.
That's why he ain't finished ninth grade.
Count 57 carries a minimum sentence of 5 years in prison and a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison. Count 58 carries a minimum sentence of 1 and a maximum sentence of 10 years in prison. Count 59 carries a
I'd have took
sentence
them
range
15
of
years
5
in
to 30 years in prison.
I'd have took them 15 years on probation.
Count 60 carries a sentence.
Hang on, slow down just a second. All right, and that's for the amount of that drug that was found on 59, 5 to 30?
That's as a result of the charge itself, I believe, with intent to distribute.
I think that 59, Your Honor, is simple possession of cocaine. I have to look at the indictment to be
I think
sure.
that's 60.
Okay.
Let me look.
It's crazy how they be knowing all this off the top of their head.
Hey, Your Honor, welcome.
59 is codeine, and
Yes.
60 is cocaine.
Yes.
She said, if you violate your probation, you have to serve all your time. So that means he must know he's gonna violate.
Your Honor, it is with the intent to distribute, so my reading of the statute is that it carries the range of 5 to 30.
Okay.
But it don't make
And
sense.
Your Honor, also, as I have the indictment,
It don't make sense, Luck Boss, because he's still gonna be doing 20 years on probation when he get out.
in my hand from Ms. Rosser, may I pass it to counsel for Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Thank you. Your Honor, with the court's permission, I'll permit time
Go
for
ahead.
them to. Okay. Count 60 carries a range of 1 to 5 years in prison.
Hit that like
Count
button.
61 carries a mandatory 5 years consecutive to the underlying felony. Count 62 carries a sentence of 10 years consecutive for a total maximum exposure of 120 years in prison.
He already did 5-6 years. He ain't do no 5 or 6 years for this case. I don't know where you get that 5 or 6 years from.
Were you aware of that, Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Do you understand that neither the court nor the district attorney's office has anything to do with parole or the Department of Corrections or the Board of Pardons and Paroles, and that if you are sentenced to confinement in the Georgia Department of Corrections, no one can guarantee parole?
I told you that. If you're doing a 45-year sentence, they offer the prosecutor recommend you do 25 years, and then when you get out, you do 20 years on probation. It don't. You might not even get out. Just like she said about the parole thing. Even if you go up after 25 years, even if you go up to the parole board, they can hit you for another year or 2 or 5. Depending on your record, they can hit you. So you might not be able to get out in 25 years. That 25 years could turn into 30 years. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yes, yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, may I allow Mr. Williams time to finish signing the indictment?
Like what I stated earlier about that parole stuff. They can hit you. This guy, Young Thug, look over here looking like, damn, can we hurry up with this? I'm trying to go back.
Your Honor, with permission, may I approach with a member of Mr. Williams' team?
You may.
He definitely gonna be going for a minute. Definitely gonna be going for a minute.
This is a non-negotiated plea of guilty, and that since your guilty plea is a blind plea or a non-negotiated plea, the state is making a recommendation of sentencing to the court, notwithstanding the.
So he got a blind plea. He took a blind plea. My bad. He took a blind plea. Let me run that back.
This is a non-negotiated plea of guilty, and that carries a sentence of 10 years consecutive for a total that Mr. Williams faces. Count 1 carries a minimum charge of 5 years and a maximum charge of 20 years in prison, or up to a $25,000 fine, or both.
I don't know why y'all keep thinking you can get why do y'all keep thinking you can get probation off of RICO? You can't just get probation off a RICO charge with murder and everything else. You not getting probation off of that, bro. There's going to have to be some jail time with it. You're not getting probation off of that. You're not just getting probation. Come on, man. Y'all got to start thinking with y'all head. You're not just getting probation
Mr.
off of
Williams, do you
RICO. You're not.
understand that this is a non-negotiated plea of guilty, and that since your guilty plea is a blind plea or a non-negotiated plea, the state is making a recommendation of sentencing to the court, notwithstanding the fact that this is a blind plea. You understand that, Mr. Williams? Okay.
You only get parole once you come out of prison. That's the only way you get parole. You come out of prison, say you got 10 years sentence, and you do 10 with a 5. You do 5 years, the rest of that you're on parole with. Probation helps you not to go to prison. You just take probation. But with a RICO charge, you're not going to just get probation. Trust me.
And Mr. Williams, were you aware of the state's previous offer that was turned down prior to your making this non-negotiated plea? Yes. All right. And Your Honor, at this time, the state is making a recommendation of 45 years with 25 to serve in custody, followed by 20 on probation.
Exactly. You're not just getting probation and coming home off of RICO. Y'all got to do y'all homework. My brother was a CO. My brother was a cop. You're not doing probation off of a RICO charge, bro. It's not happening. You're going to have to do jail time. I'm trying to tell y'all that. Y'all got to educate yourself.
Subject to the special requirements of 1615 the gang statute.
All right, and do you want to break down for me what your recommended sentence on each count is?
Yes, Your Honor. The state is recommending on count 1, 5 years to serve. Count 56, 20 years to serve consecutively to count 1. Count 57, 5 years of probation to serve consecutively to count 56. Count 58, 10 years of probation to serve concurrently with count 57. Count 59, 5 years.
Now, everybody that said that, everybody that said that I lied, y'all need to subscribe. Everybody said that I lied in my thing, you need to subscribe. Because I kept trying to tell you, you can't get probation off a RICO charge. Especially with his background, he got a record. Trust me. He got a record. With his record, you can't get a probation off a RICO charge. They're going to look at that. Do you got a record? Do you got this, that, and the third? You know what I'm saying? Oh, a RICO, this, that, and the third. His YSL is labeled as a gang. You're not getting probation off of all those things I just named. You're not.
Currently with count 57 and 58. Count 60, 5 years of probation concurrent with count 57, 58, and 59.
You said because it's a
count
state charge.
61, 5 years.
Name somebody that got probation off of a RICO charge. That involved with murder and stuff.
Probation consecutive to count 57, and count 62, 10 years of probation consecutive to count 61.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Williams, did you discuss the state's previous offer with your attorneys?
Yes.
All right, and so we're all clear that we're talking about the same thing. Can you put what the state's previous offer was on the record for me, please?
I can, Your Honor.
Thank you.
The state's previous offer was a total of 43 years with 20 years 5 years to serve on count 56, commuted to time served, followed by 15 years on probation.
Facts.
On count
Facts, CDCJ. Facts, bro.
58, the sentence was 10 years to serve in
You
the
saying C, that was the previous year, 43 with only doing 20 years. Now it's 45 with only doing 25 years. You're saying C. C what? You're not getting probation. He's not coming home today. He's not coming home tomorrow. You keep talking about you was right. Right about what?
Georgia Department of Corrections, consecutive to count 56. Count 59 was 3 years to serve in the Georgia Department of Corrections, consecutive to counts 56 and 58. Count 60 was 5 years to serve in the Georgia Department of Corrections, consecutive to counts 56, 58, and 59. Count 61 was 5 years to serve in the Georgia.
For real, Chris, because she just asked him what was the previous one. He talking about, oh, he's coming home. Now he's saying he turned it down. Bro, everybody in their right state of mind know he's not coming home. He got to do jail time. And he's doing more than 5 years.
Department of Corrections, consecutive to counts 56, 58, 59, and 60.
Was that the entirety of what the sentence was?
No, Your Honor.
I mean, I know there were special conditions, so y'all were going to null cross what?
Yeah,
1
yeah.
and 62?
So he'd rather do 25 years instead of the 20? Dang.
Yes,
That's
as
tough.
part of the recommended sentence, in exchange for the defendant agreeing to the special conditions that we asked the court to impose, the state was willing to null pros count 1, count 57, and count 62.
Okay, and then all of that consecutive to the probation, that was going to be what we call backloaded, and what were y'all prepared?
I know, I feel you, Manny. They talking about, oh, Rap said this, TMZ said this. Rap and TMZ is not no lawyer. Whatever this lawyer say right here and these prosecutors discuss right here is what's is going to be. Not Rap, this, that, and the third. Not this website. Not TMZ. Whatever this whatever this judge and this prosecutor and the defendant talk, whatever they agree upon doing is what they're going to get. He already agreed on 45 years with doing 25 years of prison and 20 on probation. On parole. Because I don't know how you can get probation off after getting out of prison, but either way, he already signed it. You said you already seen him sign his name on the piece of paper. He already signed it. He agreed to it. So where is you getting? He's getting out on probation.
Posing with regard to that, since it was
The
going to follow the probated sentence?
The total sentence was 43 years to serve, with the first 5 years in prison commuted to time served, followed by 15 years on probation, followed.
He didn't say F it, cause he already signed Keish and he already signed the plea agreement of 25 years in prison and 20 rest on parole or probation. So what are you talking about? He ain't say F it. You can't do that. He already just signed it.
Followed by 23 years in prison, which would have been served in confinement, except that if defendant had complied with the special conditions of probation imposed as part of this sentence, the backloaded portion of defendant's sentence would have been commuted. However, should defendant had violated any special condition of probation within the first 15 years of his sentence, his probated sentence would have immediately
Ain't no time
been
served.
revoked, and he would have been
Keep
required
dreaming.
to serve the entire remainder of his sentence confined to the Georgia Department of Corrections.
All right, so as long as he had successfully completed his 15 years of probation, the 23 years that was going to follow it was going to be commuted to time served, as long as his probation was successful. Is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
And the court like for us to?
No, I was really more interested in the length of sentence and what y'all.
You don't
had,
listen, Keish.
I mean, I know you didn't reach agreement, but y'all, that's what the last offer had been with, of course, a bunch of special conditions, which I guess is where the hangup is. I don't know.
Right, defendant did not want to agree to the
Okay.
special conditions.
All right. Is that basically your understanding too, Mr.
Yes, Your
Steele
Honor. It
and
would have
Mr.
been,
Adams?
yes, Your Honor, Mr. Williams would have been released today for 15 years on probation. If he successfully completes that probation, then he would not have to go to custody. If he did not, he'd face probation revocation as well as 23 years, as the court said, backloaded in the Georgia prison system. But we
Okay.
could not come to terms on all the conditions that the district attorney was insisting.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Love.
Okay. And Mr. Williams, were you aware of that previous offer as well as all of the requirements that that offer would have entailed?
Yes.
You said you never. He said would have, and I said he's not. I said he's doing 25 years. That's what I said too.
And had you had enough time to discuss that particular offer with your attorneys?
Yes.
All right,
The previous?
the previous offer. Do you understand that the court can impose any sentence authorized by law, including a higher sentence than that recommended by the state, up to the maximum sentence on each charge in this indictment? Do you understand?
Damn, bro, should have took them 15 years. He crazy.
Do you understand that if you enter into a non-negotiated plea, you do not have a right to withdraw your plea once the sentence has been announced?
Yes.
Do you understand that this is a guilty plea which is permanently recorded on your criminal history?
Yes.
Do you understand that this plea may be used to enhance sentencing on other convictions in this jurisdiction as well as in other jurisdictions, including in the federal courts?
He said call him up and tell him.
Yes.
Do you understand that if you are currently on probation or parole, your probation or parole may be revoked based on your entering a guilty plea today? Okay, so you're not on
If you
probation.
were on probation.
Oh, so he's not on probation. Y'all said he was on probation. He just said he's not on probation. Ha ha. Ha ha. Y'all so stupid.
But if you're not, then it doesn't matter.
Okay. Do you understand that if you are placed on probation of any kind by this court, you cannot violate any criminal laws of any governmental unit or any special conditions of probations without being subject to revocation for the balance of the sentence the court imposes?
Yes, I know.
Do you understand that you are not allowed to possess or use a firearm while on probation?
Yes.
Do you understand that if you are not a United States citizen, a guilty plea conviction will affect your immigration status and will result in deportation, just like a conviction at a trial would, and that this is true regardless of any advice by your attorney or anyone else?
Yes.
Do you understand that neither the court, your attorney, nor the district attorney's office has anything to do with parole, and the Department of Corrections
Who? Yat. You mean who? Who Yat?
or Board of Pardons and
Kodak.
Paroles,
Kodak locked up?
and that no one can guarantee parole no matter what anyone has told you?
Yes.
No one can guarantee
Do you
parole.
understand that there
No one can guarantee parole, so that means you have to go to prison to get paroled.
may be other adverse or unfavorable consequences as a result of this guilty plea conviction, just as there would be from a conviction following a trial? For example, your guilty plea may affect the right
Oh,
to
Gotti.
vote, the right to hold public office,
Yeah,
the
Gotti,
right
that's
to
right.
serve on a jury, the right to obtain a passport, the right to receive, possess, or transport a firearm, or the ability to obtain employment. Do you understand that, Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty to a felony, if you use, receive, possess, or transport a firearm, or if you use a firearm in a crime, you will be guilty of a felony, which may carry a sentence of up to 1 to 15 years in prison.
Yes.
Okay. Do you understand that you waive any and all defenses, including any mental health defenses?
Facts,
by
Lux. I
entering
only
you
know
guilty?
one yak.
Yes.
I don't care about
Do you
no God.
understand
This the
that
first
if you
time I
went
heard
to
it.
trial, you would...
This is the first time I heard of Tat Gotti, Yak Gotti, whoever he is. The only yak I know is Kodak.
have the right to that if you continued at trial, rather, you would continue to have the right to a trial by jury, the right to see, hear, and confront witnesses called to testify against you, and the right to testify or to remain silent and not incriminate yourself. Do you understand all of those things?
Yes.
Do you understand that by pleading guilty, you are giving up the following rights? The right to a trial by jury. Do you understand that?
Yes.
The right to remain silent and not incriminate yourself.
Kwani said you're a hater. Ha ha.
Yes.
The right to confront witnesses against you.
Yes.
The right to continued assistance of counsel hired by you or to court-appointed counsel if you cannot afford an attorney at the continued trial of your case.
Yes.
The right to the presumption of innocence.
He was the one that's standing on top of Lucci. He said, but I don't really care too much about Lucci. I was never a fan of his. I only like the song with him and PNB Rock.
Yes.
The right to testify on your own behalf and to present other evidence.
Yes.
The right to subpoena witnesses and compel the production of evidence.
Yes.
The right to have the charges against you proven beyond a reasonable doubt.
Yes.
The right to appeal if convicted of these charges after a trial. Do you understand?
I feel you, Keish. Good luck with that.
Has anyone forced, threatened, or promised you anything to get you to enter a guilty plea?
No.
Is it your decision to waive these rights and enter a guilty plea because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
Well, Your Honor, may I interject?
You may.
Your Honor, on count 1, which is the racketeering conspiracy count, Mr. Williams is tendering a plea under nolo contendere. As to count 56, which is participation in a criminal street gang activity as being a leader or a supervisor or organizer, Mr. Williams is also tendering a plea to this honorable court under nolo contendere. The balance of the counts, so he is tendering a guilty plea.
Your Honor,
Yes, ma'am.
would the court like to hear from the state or not?
About the NOLO issues?
Yes, yes.
Sure.
Your Honor, the state asked that the court
Look at her right there. Look at her.
not accept a nolo plea and require either a guilty plea or a not guilty plea as to these charges.
All right. I'm going to permit a NOLO plea as to counts 1 and 56.
All right. Mr. Williams,
She got lipstick. Who wear lipsticks anymore?
as to count 57, participation in criminal street gang activity, how do you plead?
I plead.
As to count 58,
This ain't
violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, how do you plead?
Guilty.
As to count 59, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, how do you plead?
Guilty.
As to count 60, violation
It's been like, yo, okay, whatever, bro.
of the Georgia Controlled Substances Act, how do you plead?
Guilty.
As to count 61, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony, how do you plead?
Guilty.
And as to count 1, conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, how do you plead?
No law.
As to count 56, participation in criminal street gang activity under the leadership charge, how do you plead?
No law.
I think you didn't ask about count 62.
As to count, thank you, Your Honor. As to count 62, possession of a machine gun, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Are you pleading guilty to the offenses you have indicated because you are in fact guilty of these charges?
Yes.
All right.
So the press conference is about
Are
to
your
start.
guilty pleas and your NOLO pleas freely and voluntarily given with the full knowledge of the charges against you?
Yes.
Do you understand that you may have only a limited right to appeal this guilty plea conviction?
Yeah, Keisha, you know I'll
Do you
put us on.
understand that you have only 4 years from today's date for a felony charge, and 12 months from today's date you don't have a misdemeanor charge, but to file a habeas corpus petition challenging the voluntariness and constitutionality of this guilty plea?
Yes.
Your Honor, also, do you...
You have
my-
30 days from
I was-
today to file a direct appeal from this guilty plea, and until the end of this term of court to file a motion seeking to withdraw the guilty plea, which does not mean it would be granted, but that's the time period, okay?
What's a direct appeal?
Well, you can talk to your attorneys more about it, but it would be up to one of the, like the Court of Appeals, I think is where this one would go. Those are just the time periods.
That's on Yak.
And
We
Your
ain't te-
Honor,
that's on Yak. We ain't tell him to commit them crimes.
The state, in addition to the sentence we are asking that the court to impose,
Okay.
we would also be
I said that's on Yak. We ain't tell him to commit those crimes.
asking the court to require or to forfeit, have defendant forfeit all of the property that has been seized and that is currently being
40
held,
years, he still ain't gonna get out there.
that was found or recovered or taken from his home after it was searched on May 9th.
Do you have any kind of list of what that property is? I mean, I'm not familiar with what was seized.
Is that like Budding Gang?
We
We're not
do.
agreeing.
and that-
Oh, I know, I mean, I assume y'all aren't agreeing to anything.
We're not
You
agreeing
would
to that.
present it as a negotiated plea.
We're not. But we do have a list of the
All right.
property
Do you have
items.
it where available right now?
Yes, actually, would the court permit us to send it electronically?
Sure,
Because
that's fine. And then, if that is not imposed as a condition, is it just get litigated as like any forfeiture matter?
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
it would be litigated later on, yes.
It's a civil separate filing
Okay.
in this court. It's not related to the criminal.
All right.
It's related case, but it's unrelated.
Understood.
And we are sending that to Your
All right.
Honor
Thank you.
at this time. And as it relates to the conditions of a conviction under 1615-4, Your Honor, we would ask, or as part of the sentence, defendant would be required to adhere to the requirements, the sentencing requirements of the gang statute, which at least in part require that he not associate with any gang members whatsoever.
You know he is. It's in his DNA. I got loyalty. Loyalty is all I did.
And I can read the rest of that into the record if the court requires, or I can continue with the factual basis.
All right, and let me ask you, because I know that at least while y'all were negotiating, one of the things that I guess was being negotiated was some exception for, I think, somebody that is contractually obligated on his record label. Is that something that the state would still be in agreement to?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
All right. Your Honor, as part of the requirements of 1615-4,
Yes.
defendant would, one moment, Your Honor. Under 1615-4, in addition to any other penalty provided by the code section, all sentences imposed under the code section shall require as a special condition of the sentence that the person sentenced shall not knowingly
But
have...
just a tad.
Facts. He definitely not gonna be with Gunner.
Because there's a court reporter taking it down. And when we start reading, we read really fast. So go ahead.
This code section shall require as a special condition of the sentence that the person sentenced shall not knowingly have contact of any kind or character with any other member or associate of a criminal street gang, shall not participate in any criminal gang activity.
So any other member mean Gunna. Gunna's still a member of YSL.
And in cases involving a victim, shall not knowingly have contact of any kind or character with any such victim or any member of
Nah,
any
he
such
ain't getting out.
victim's family or household. So that is, and we've listed in our indictment the victims of the crimes, the overt acts that have been committed, and under the basic conspiracy law, those are the victims that we are naming. Your Honor, as this case has been tried and would continue to be tried until the state completed its case in chief, the evidence has shown that the defendant, throughout the time between 2013 to 2022, conspired with both indicted and unindicted co-conspirators to participate in the enterprise known as Young Slime Life, or YSL, through
Keish,
a pattern of racketeering.
Keish, you gotta put me on. I don't know who his brother.
Activity. Throughout that
Hit
time,
that subscribe button.
multiple conspirators, both indicted and unindicted, and including the defendant, have committed overt acts intended to further the enterprise itself. With regard to the defendant, as far back.
I appreciate everybody watching this. I'm about to go live again. I'll be right back. Don't touch that dial. Hit that subscribe button too as well.